David, it's obviously been disappointing the fact that the game was postponed today. Just what are your initial thoughts on the decision?
Well, there's a couple of points. I wouldn't usually come on and comment A about another team and B about a referee, but some of the comments that have been made by the chairman of Ebbsfleet, I find, shall we say, highly disturbing, to say the least. I know Damien pretty well. We fought a couple of battles together, and so I was really surprised at what he's come out and said today. Which, in essence, if you watch the interview, he's suggesting that Fylde, could have or should have called this game a lot earlier, and I've really find that pretty insulting to us as a club. I think the obligation of every football club is to try and play whenever possible the game. This game got called off today by the referee. I think it was a wrong decision. We as a club will be putting in a report on that, because it could have been played. It all boiled down to 2 square metre part of the pitch that he felt was dangerous. Obviously, ultimately his decision. Normally, the referee would ask the manager's opinion. The manager's opinion were not asked by the referee, so he made that decision on his own. And so there was, in my view, no attempt, and that game was called off at 10-2. Now, it never rained after that, and at 3 o'clock, trust me, we could have played that game today, without a doubt. But of course, it's always subjective and always will be subjective. But for Ebbsfleet to then come out and suggest that we knew these storms were coming and we should have had a pitch inspection, it wouldn't have made absolutely any difference to Ebbsfleet whatsoever. Ebbsfleet had travelled up overnight. You can't call the game off, apart from it's a frozen pitch, everybody knows that, on the basis that it may be flooded the day before. And we didn't know it would be flooded, and in actual fact it wasn't flooded. There was rain, but we didn't know how it was going to be. Nobody knew what was going to happen. So we couldn't have called off the game the day before. They travelled up. Their supporters, I've been to Ebbsfleet, if you're going to Ebbsfleet or they're coming from us, it's the same way, would have had to leave at 6 o'clock this morning. It would have been ludicrous to have a pitch inspection at 6 o'clock this morning. So we eventually had a pitch inspection when the referee arrived, and at that time he looked at it and decided that it was potentially playable. He was going to have a look at it. He made a decision half an hour later. We didn't, I say, maybe we should have tried to be involved a little bit more, but we tried to stay out of it and let him make that decision. However, I can tell you that from the moment Ebbsfleet arrived, they wanted the game off. I've never seen a team that wanted a game off more than that. The chairman wanted it off, the manager in particular wanted it off, and all his coaches wanted it off. And they made it abundantly clear. And in actual fact, there was a big smile all around the whole Ebbsfleet contingent when the game was called off. And they wanted it off for obvious reasons. The bottom of the table, they're not in good form, they don't want to play a team like us today, for whatever reason. Draw your own conclusions. But so that's obviously weighs heavily on the referee's decision as well, the fact that the other club don't want to play and obviously don't want to play. So very, very annoying that it didn't happen today. But I have to say that to suggest that we were responsible for that, and we were responsible for wasting supporters' time and money driving up is absolutely ludicrous. And as I say, as the chairman of this football club, I find that pretty insulting.